Baltimore takes on Cleveland in a 1 o'clock matinee. Welcome to the show. My name is Brock Page, and I have a diverse portfolio of predicting the outcomes of things I have absolutely no control of. Cleveland opened up as the $1.77 favorites with the total at 9.5. Since then, most of the money's come in on the red-hot Indians. To keep this win streak going, the Cleveland Indians are now laying $1.85 as the Moneyline favorites, with the total moving downward to an even 9 runs. Currently, Baltimore gets the 1.5 on the run line, and at the moment, 73% of the actions on the Cleveland Indians to get the job done. Today's probables: Gabe Enoa for the O's, Josh Tomlin for the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland's won 16 straight, and currently 65% of their games at the current Moneyline odds. They're going up against a struggling Baltimore team who's just 1-4 in their head-to-head matchups with Cleveland. In addition to winning just 20% of their head-to-head games with the Indians, this Baltimore team's won just 27 of 67 on the road this year. Even worse, the Baltimore Orioles are winning just 37% of their games at the current Moneyline odds. All told, the case for the Cleveland Indians can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Give me Cleveland for some run line and Moneyline cash, and when it comes to the scoring, 2 out of Cleveland's previous 3 games went over the line before last night's action. Meanwhile, on the other side, very similar story for Baltimore games. They're 3-0 for the overs in their previous 3 before last night's action themselves. With all that in mind, the case for the over can certainly be made, and I'm certainly I'm going to take advantage of that information as well, that confidential information. Give me the over 9 runs in this one. I'm predicting a final score of 6-4 Cleveland. All right, next game I have for you, it is going to be the Yankees taking on the Rangers for another 1 o'clock matinee in Arlington. The Yankees opened up as the $1.66 favorites on the money line with a total at an even 10 runs. Since the betting opened up, we've seen a little bit of that early money come in on the Yankees. They're currently laying $1.70 on the money line, with all the money on the total moving it all the way down to a suspicious 8.5 runs. Currently, the Rangers get the 1.5 at home, and at the moment, 59% of the actions on the Yankees. Probables for today's matchup are Lou Severino for the Yanks, Andrew Kashner for the Texas Rangers. And when it comes to the projected starters in this one, this Yankees squad is winning nearly 60% of their games when Luis Severino makes the start on the bump. The Yanks have struggled against this Rangers team this year, however. The New York Yankees are just 1-3 in their 4 head-to-head matchups with Texas. They're also winning just 47% of their games on the road this year. But if you think the Yanks are an absolute bust for that cash tonight, keep in mind this Rangers ball club is winning just 47% of their games as the official home underdog themselves. Even worse, the Texas Rangers win just 42% of their games at the current Moneyline odds. All told, this is going to be a real tough one to pick, but before I go ahead and throw a dart, right, and select a winner, let's go ahead and break down the total real quick. And when it comes to the scoring, Rangers games are a staggering, now listen up here, Rangers games are a staggering 11-1 for the overs in their last 12. Meanwhile, on the other side, very similar story with Yankees games. They're 5-0 to the overs in their last 5 themselves. All told, the case for a lot of runs in this one can certainly be made. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to forego choosing sides in this one, but I will gladly take the over 8.5 in this matchup. We're probably looking at a score of 7-6, the winning team. All right, folks, next and final game for the show, Reds at the New York Mets. The Cincinnati Reds opened up as the $1.10 favorites on the money line, with the total at an even 9 runs. Since the betting opened up, most of that early money came pouring in on the Cincinnati Reds, much to my surprise. The Reds are now laying 135 on the money line, with the total moving upward to a cool 9.5 runs. Currently, the Mets get the 1.5 on the run line at home. And at the moment, 64% of the action is now on New York to get the job done. So look for those money line odds to change significantly. If you're a New York bettor in this one, lock up that action as soon as you can. Now, tonight's probables in this National League matchup, we have the best name in baseball, one of them, Homer Bailey for the Reds, and then we have Rafi Montero for the New York Mets. New York's going up against a Reds team who's won just 5 of 14 games this year when Homer Bailey makes the start. This Reds ball club has also won just 25 of 70 games on the road this year. On top of all that, the Mets hold the season series lead 3-2. All told, the case for the underdog New York Mets can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm loving the Moneyline equity on the home underdogs in this one. Give me the Mets plus 1.5 and winning it outright for some Moneyline cash. And when it comes to the scoring, 2 out of the Mets' previous 3 games have gone under the posted total. Meanwhile, it's even less uneventful when it comes to the Reds games. Cincinnati matchups are 3-0 to the unders in their previous 3 games themselves. With all that in mind, the case for the under can certainly be made in this one, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, and that's exactly what I'm riding with. Give me the under 9.5 runs for this matchup. I'm predicting a final score of 5-4 Mets. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me, but before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. Good ain't free, and free ain't good. Listen to that. Remember that. Now, if for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.